Chapter 26 of John Smith's Funny Adventures on a Crutch, or The Remarkable Peregrinations of a One-Legged Soldier After the War. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Read by Shelley Weingart. John Smith's Funny Adventures on a Crutch, or The Remarkable Peregrinations of a One-Legged Soldier After the War, by A.F. Hill. Chapter 26. Peculiarities of Travelers. Next morning I took an early train for Wheeling, which city I desired to visit on my westward way. On this occasion, about 12 minutes before the train started, 2 men came in, and desiring to sit together, and finding no seat wholly vacant, one of them had the incredible, the unparalleled, the unexampled, the unheard of audacity to ask me to move and sit with another person, a thing I have refused to do even to accommodate a lady. It was not yet quite light in the car, as the sun was not up, and I pointed to my crutch that stood leaning against the back of the seat in front of me, and stated that I had been badly shot in the knee the previous night in a saloon difficulty, and that it was impossible for me to move with any sort of comfort or ease. Moreover, I observed that my uncle was to accompany me on my journey to take care of me, that he would of course occupy the seat with me, and that he had just gone to a neighboring saloon to get me a glass of ale and hand it in at the window. Otherwise, I said, I should accommodate them by moving to any part of the car they might desire, and take pleasure in it. Taking all I said for the truth, and thus making a wholesale mistake, they turned and went to the rear of the car, where they urgently requested a respectable-looking Negro passenger to get up and let them have his seat. But he knew his rights, and knowing durst maintain, and he maintained them after this manner. "Guess not." "Oh, come now," argued one of the 2 passengers. "You might as well. You'll be just as comfortable some—" "Well, now, I guess I won't leave dis yer, by golly." "You might have to," suggested one of the Caucasians. "Hab to? Like to see de man. For half a cent I'd move you." The darky was now very much riled, and being besides a little drunk, and naturally ill-natured and habitually profane in his language, he railed out thus: "No, I'll be profanity, if you does. Profanity, my heart, if I just didn't fight for dis profanity country, and I'll be profanitied, if I ain't as good as any other profanity man. I know what my rights is, I does. I'll be profanity if I don't. Profanity. "Look here," exclaimed the conductor, who had just entered the car and was adjusting the bell cord. "What the—" Here he made a concise and pointed allusion to a dark personage who wears a tail with a dart on the end of it, and carries off bad boys that won't mind their mothers and who run off and play baseball when sent to school. "Do you mean? What are you cursing that way for? Don't you see that there are ladies in the car?" "Dey wants my seat, and—" "Well, they haven't got it, have they? You shall keep your seat if you want to. No one's going to take it from you. Now another word out of your black head and I'll split it for you, and throw it out the window a piece at a time." The 2 troublesome travelers had meantime located themselves in separate seats, as near each other as possible. The darky said no more, and quiet reigned for a moment or so. Glancing out my window, which I had raised, I presently saw 2 Irishmen, both drunk, approaching the car, and one of them was carrying a valise, a fiddle, a hat-box, a saw, a side of leather, an overcoat, and an extra pair of boots. He was evidently going on a journey, but the other was in his shirt-sleeves, and had only accompanied him to the train to see him off. "Goodbye, Mike," said he in his shirt-sleeves. "Take good care of yourself. "I'll do that, Jamie," said the traveller, who was the drunkest of the two. "When I'll sees ye agin, my bye. I'll mate ye whalin', Mike. Stick to the cause, my boy. Don't forget the Fenians and your country." By this time a number of the passengers who sat on the same side of the car with me had raised their windows, and were now listening to this dialogue, much amused. The conversation was carried on in loud, harsh tones. "Forget my country and the cause? Ugh, I should think not," said the Milesian traveller, who was now about to ascend the steps to the platform of the car I was in. He paused a moment before blundering up, and then struck up a patriotic Fenian song, the first verse of which was something like this: "Ah, crack, cree, mo, cree, me, berry, bra. Ah, quee, McQuarrie, oh. Gra, me, cre, gra, me, cree. Ah, coosh, lee, hurrah. Mike Grogan, och, bory, bro." "Goodbye," exclaimed his friend, grasping his hand. "Well done, that. Now, goodbye, Mike. Take care of yoursel. Goodbye till ye, Jamie. God be good till ye." After shaking hands cordially, they parted. He in his shirt-sleeves, James by name, walked away with some sadness, naturally engendered by the parting, while Michael entered the car and took a seat by the darky, for all the rest were entirely occupied by this time, his saw, as he sat down, accidentally grazing the darky's cheek, and coming within half an inch of sawing one of his white eyes out. "'Cuse me, darlin'," said Mike, and he deposited his luggage down among both their feet, threw himself carelessly back in his seat, with his cheek resting on his dusky companion's shoulder, and soon he fell asleep. The pleasant time the conductor had waking him, when he came round for his ticket, might be described with excellent effect by a professional humorist, but let the reader picture it in his imagination. End of chapter 26.